Is a Go Minis franchise cost worth the profit potential? In today's video, we're going to go through Go Minis, everything you need to know in terms of the franchise costs and what we found when we studied what the financial situation looked like for the franchisor as well as franchisees. Go Minis is a storing and moving franchise and basically provides portable containers for people that are looking to move or just store items generally for a week, a month, or even just a few days. At the start of this year, 2022, they had 133 locations in operations. About 80 or so of those were franchise, and the rest were distributors or licenses, basically their old model as giving a license to someone operating the business instead of giving awarding a franchisee the right to run the business. The moving service industry makes $1.2 billion in profit every year on annual revenue of $18.5 billion. So it's a big opportunity. There are already franchises in the space like pods, units that Go Minis competes directly with. And then they also compete indirectly with College Hunks and a few other moving franchises that are less on the storage side. The initial investment amount for a Go Minis franchise is going to set you back anywhere from $342,000 up to $662,000. The franchise fee is $45,000. You're going to pay this fee up front. They also reduced the fee for veterans to $36,000. The cost is largely going to be those Go Mini containers, which costs a lot. And Go Minis, on that $340,000 to $662,000, you're going to have to pay about $250K to Go Minis just for the containers. So they're making from you, the prospective franchisee, about $300,000 from the franchise fee, as well as the containers that you have to buy from them up front. The royalty fee is a little high for this industry at 8% on gross sales with a monthly minimum of $400. And then converting Go Mini dealers receive a reduced royalty rate for the first 2 years of 5%. So that initial batch I mentioned of 40 or so that were in the predecessor before they started franchising. And then the marketing fund of 2% of gross sales, which is pretty standard. They keep their financials pretty close to their chest for the franchisee unit level performance. I haven't seen it disclosed in the past 3 years. Between January and March 2022, Go Minis collected $82,000 from franchises and marketing fund contributions. This amounts to an AUV of around $31,000 per quarter, or about $130,000 per year. This would definitely be on the low side of what you could expect and what we even expect from the average unit volume for Go Minis. Please, if you're a Go Minis franchisee, chime in this video. But we see that it's not that high when you incorporate the costs. And say you're investing $500,000, basically that in that mid-range of the investment to open up a Go Minis, and it made profit of 20% on that $124,000, it would take you 20 years just to get your initial capital back. So even if they're making $500,000 a year and you're doing really well in the Go Minis system, it's still going to take at least 6-7 years to recoup your capital. So definitely vet that information when you talk to franchisees. And it looks like going through the Go Mini statement below, we see that franchises make a lot more money from selling containers to its franchisees than from the customers or the royalties. So this is a red flag. We'd recommend talking to at least 3 or 5 Go Minis franchise owners before entering business with them, as we really like it when the franchisor makes most of their money from the royalties instead of selling products or services to their franchisees. In just the first quarter of 2022, container sales were $2.3 million, while royalty income was $206,000, so 10x on selling products rather than helping you, the franchisee, sell more services and get more clients. They did pay, though, a lot to get the containers, and there's not a huge markup on that. But still, probably the gross profit is probably around $800K from container sales on an annual basis. The franchisors, for having over 100 franchisees and dealers, isn't doing incredible. They had $245,000 in net income in 2019, $284,000 in 2020, and then $320,000 for 2021. The good news is it looks like they're on track to hit $600,000 in net income. Again, that's at the franchisor level. And then another concern is franchise costs keep going up for franchisees, and not sure if their profits will follow suit. It was an extra $100,000 to open up a Go Minis franchise in 2022 compared to 2021. based on the franchise disclosure documents. Annual container purchase, estimate $5,300 per 20-foot container. And then the smaller containers are $5,085. And they even have a 12-foot container that's less. And basically after the first year, annually, you have to buy at least 12 containers per year for each 100,000 population until you have 48 containers per 100,000 people. So for example, if you have a population of 400,000 in your target, your territory for your Go Minis franchise, you must buy at least 48 until you have a minimum of 192 containers. So 48 containers per year until you had 192 containers. So that's a lot of money that you continually reinvest into the business. It seems like it's probably a better business for maybe a couple where there's some really high earner, lawyer, doctor, other entrepreneur that's making a ton of money, and to potentially defray the couple's tax bill, you could write off a lot of depreciation of those assets to pay less taxes for that calendar year. But I haven't seen how the financials really make sense, but they are adding franchisees. So definitely do your due diligence. Talk to existing franchisees of the Go Minis system. I hope you found this video informational. Let us know if there's other franchises you'd like us to review. You can shoot me an email at patrick@vettedbiz.com. Thanks.